What's happened? God. What I wouldn't give for a hot meal.
Looks like this is the end of the road for us.
When are they gonna let us through? Straight home now. I hope I didn't keep you waiting. Did you arrange to speak with the consortium?
Here they are now.
You wish to consult with me?
I did. It's about the bearers you We had all but finished making arrangements to buy them ourselves.
You misunderstand. The consortium had an interest. It was only our regard for you that kept us from bidding. But your hesitancy in accepting our offer to you suggested that the regard... And so we...
I did not hesitate. I am simply not inclined to make such decisions without first giving... But what is done is done. Come.
Alas, you are too... We rarely take on such unconventional... The bearers belong to him.
Who is your buyer?
A trader from across... A most demanding fellow, if it's any consolation. He insisted the bearers be fed, dressed, even given their own bunk. That's what you get when you deal with continent...
I wouldn't know.
Oh yes, the culture on the continent is quite different to ours. They pay good money for bearers not fit for the knacker's yard, and treat them...
That does sound... No matter then. If they've already left our shores, there's little that can be done. And with it...
My associate...
I'm sorry you weren't able to save them.
As am I. He was right. The Silver Peak Consortium did intend to buy those Their representative hinted at a possible purchase when he came to recruit. I feigned interest in joining them in the hope he might be encouraged to tell me more. And he did just that. As soon as he left, I sent my own offer to Randalar.
So you never...
No. I entertained the Consortium's proposal solely so I could learn more about... I was a fool to think they wouldn't find out. I knew exactly...
You tried.
I did. And if what he said was true, they deserved... I wanted so badly to see...
Eloise! Word from Cashlock. The village... A pack of beasts have come down from the mountains. Theo and the others are trying to hold... They need help.
Theo!
I'll go on it.
Thank you, Clive. I'll gather some men and...
Hold on. Let's go. Time to fight. I can walk from here. Where's Theodore?
Upriver!
He led the dragon that way to keep it from the village.
We just have to pray he makes it out in one...
I can do better than... Any more time. I need to find Theodore before that dragon does. Looks like it's found me. This thing's turned as well. This isn't going to be easy. Clive? Theodore, you had me worried for... We have to get you out of here.
I think it might be a little too late for that. Bearer or no, there's only so much ether a man can take, and that Drake just wouldn't let me leave. You have my thanks, Sid, for finishing what I could not. For keeping Elle's dream.
Theodore! Don't make me do this.
Stop it, Theo! Stop!
Stay back, Eloise! He's turned. And so will you!
Elle.
Theodore.
Take care of my sister.
Theodore. Wait.
Goodbye, Elle.
Thank you, Clark.
That was true bravery he showed. His first instinct was always to protect people.
And now he's gone because I sent him to that.
It wasn't against it. He was ready to do whatever it took to show you he could stand on his own.
To live my... He never could come to terms with the choice I...
What exactly happened? You once told me Theo was the first bearer you ever...
We grew up in Canva. And I was chosen to... I had my father's head for figures, you see. Theo did not. A late bloomer. For unlike most bearers, it wasn't until his 15th summer. My parents tried to drive him out of the house and into the care of the couple before they could.
Theo told me something else. He clearly admired your devotion to the cause of freeing others, but he said you deserved a better life than this. Just as you freed him.
I would be lying if I said I had not wondered how much easier my life might have been if I had allowed Theo to be taken and devoted myself. But I have never regretted. Being with my brother meant more to me than tradition. I only had to look at him to remind myself of that night and the choice I made. He was never a burden. If anything,
You weren't, Eloise. That he had always been grateful to you for, and that he wanted to repay you by letting you live the life. Neither you nor Theo weighed each other down. You did whatever was necessary, and you always would.
You're right. It was so we could be... Oh, Theo. I know Theo wanted me to move on. We can make a difference here. I need nothing more, so I'll carry on doing what we do, bringing smiles to and to Theo. This is the life I have chosen.
I've made a choice to continue helping you however I can.
Thank you, Claire. Let's go on.
I've never seen Miss-El cry before.
Is Theo really gone then? He's never coming back.
That's true, and we have to look after Miss-El, just like Theo looked after us.
The Guardians of the Flame were true friends to the rest.
Clark, I'd like you to take something seeds for planting. Thought it was about I'll keep providing them with whatever, but if Eastpool's going to survive, as of those, they've lived their whole lives in servitude. Small wonder they ain't got the foggiest how to provide for themselves. And if you're wondering why you, well, the Wagoneer's taking supplies up, Sir Wade's putting a brave face on it. But I think even he's starting to worry. And if he's likely to share those concerns...
All right.
Thank there.
Gizal Green.
Not the most mouth-watering crop, I'll admit. Better that than something that'll whip, and chocobos love 'em too, which is no small thing. When I say all of us need to pull together, they ain't exactly succulent, but cook 'em right and...
I'll take your word.
Anyway, Sir Wade'll know what... I'll go up there and show him...
I'm sure you...
Ah, Lord Rossfield. What brings you to Eastpool?
A delivery from Martha.
These are Gizal green seeds. Martha's keen to cut the ape. I jest, of course. You see, I had thought we might be able to revive the old wheat fields, but they'd long since gone to seed, only without the seeds.
Martha was hoping he might be able to show the bearers how to plant and tend these, so that they'll be able to fend for themselves.
That's not a bad idea. These bearers had only recently escaped their... They know little of freedom, unless we teach them how to live like free men. I fear that all we have achieved in bringing them here is to exchange... Not that myself and the Guardians have been the best example to them so far, subsisting almost entirely on Martha's charity as we do. It's about time we all started to provide for ourselves. Unfortunately, we've been a little too busy of late to focus on much besides bolstering our defenses.
The Horde! They're coming, Sir Wade.
Time it all. I thought we'd have more time. Gather the men in the square.
Yes, Sir Wade.
The Horde.
A Kashek, a veritable legion of them. They've been seen prowling around the northern reaches for a while. We don't have the numbers to hold back a swarm that size. I had hoped to build a perimeter wall so that myself and the Guardians might be able to...
Now you're out of time.
Precisely. If reinforcements from the rest arrive before they do, we may just scrape through, but I fear...
What if you could call on
You mean the bearers? We brought them here so they might live, not die.
So wait. You said you lack men to defend the village. Though they may not be trained soldiers like your Guardians, what help they are able to offer could...
You're right, my lord. I will... appeal. My friends, I humbly beg your aid. We Guardians are few and our enemies many. But I swear we can defeat them with you at our side.
You would send us to the slaughter, to serve as bait for those fiends so that you and your men might be spared. And to think we trusted you. Say what you will, a home is not worth dying for.
But it is worth fighting for. Sir Wade fights to give you lot a chance. Just like I do. Just like Sid does. We all wanted to give you a home where you could be free. And you got one, didn't you? This place, Eastpool. This is your village. Your home. And if you don't fight to protect what's yours, you'll lose it. You know I'm right. This world wants to take everything from you. Everything. Your homes, your freedom, your very lives. So then, are you going to stand by and let that happen to you? Are you going to accept fate like good little Bran did and die, having never stood up for yourselves? Or will you fight like free men and women?
What are you doing?
All right. Give me a sword. I never dreamt I'd have a home of my own. And now that I have, I don't want to lose it. I will protect what's mine, or die trying.
We all will. Free men and women, fighting together. For Eastpool!
For Eastpool!
Thank you, Martha.
Don't mention it. Just promise me one thing. That you'll show them how freeborn fight.
Gladly.
Well, if it was numbers you were lacking...
Thanks to you.
Me?
All right, Lord Rossfield.
So what's the plan?
We'll divide our forces into several small detachments, each made up of guardians, bearers, and guards from the rest. These will position themselves upon engaging with the Akashic. Each detachment will keep the creatures occupied as best they can, steadily retreating all the while.
You're going to lure them into the village?
I am. We will have neither the time nor the resources to treat the wounded, so injuries must be avoided at all costs. Instead, we will focus purely on defense. By coordinating our withdrawal through the use of messengers drawn from among the bearers, we will aim to have the swarm converge with luck. That point will be the village square. The perfect place for us and for you and I to finish.
A sound plan, but one that'll require a leader with a cool head and strong nerve. I'd say you have both in abundance, Sir Wade. Please, leave the last of the fight.
Ha! And let...
Sir Wade!
Then you know what you must do. We work together, each shielding the other that no man might fall. For Rosaria.
For Rosaria!
We've no time to argue,
Then I will do as you...
Suppose we'd better do our...
Right, you?
calm before the storm. And here it comes. I will not let this village fall. Looks like that's...
Lord Rossfield! Change of plan!
What is it?
Owl from the rest. An Akashic curl's been sighted on Rhiannon's ride and is headed in their direction.
Well, the better half of her guard is here. So wait, how many Akashic remain in East Pool?
Hard to say. My men are still facing some resistance, but I could order a detachment or two.
No. You stay here too, Sir Wade. I'll go after the... Join me only when...
If you're may the founder...
Next one's mine. I might not know what...
The Curl was sighted on Rhiannon's ride back towards Martha's Rest.
East Pool will be safe in our hands, my lord.
Ready, girl? Faster! Back to Eastpool.
Lord Rossfield.
It's dead.
Thank the Founder for that. And for you, my lord. We were able to eradicate the rest of the Horde. I have guardians posted around the village to keep watch for further attacks, but all seems quiet for now. I hesitate to say it, but...
I think it might.
We saved... Thank you, my friends.
No, Sir Wade. You brought us together.
We never had nothing to call our own before, but now we do.
Forgive us, Sir Wade. But there's no doubt in my mind we're free men now. So we have to start acting like it. We have to fight to protect.
And we shall. This is our home. And if
they'll have us to answer to.
Come on then. Let's get to work.
This village isn't gonna rebuild itself.
They're not slaves.
No, your father, and I believe if he was still with us today...
I believe you might be right.
I shall remain here, my lord. After all, this is my home now too. And I could hardly call myself an Eastpoolian if I didn't pull my...
I think you'll find it's Eastpudlian, Sir Wade. But you should be proud. I'll have to pull my weight too. Can't have the rest getting outclassed. Speaking of which, I ought to be getting back.
Can we continue to count?
Of course. Us Rosarians have got to stick together, eh?
Indeed we have.
And Clive, come by the Golden Stables. I ain't paid you for...
All right.
Lord Rossfield, clearing the goblins. There's one sight that I shall never forget. Since that day, there have been more than a few times when I felt like when the odds seemed so stacked in the enemy's favor, I thought I may as well just lay down my sword and surrender. But every time, I would think back to the look in your eyes that day and remember what it means to be a shield. Know that whatever trials Eastpool may face, I shall never lose courage. Thanks to you.
So Wade, you have always been a true shield. I know that Eastpool, and indeed all of Rosaria...
Thank you. I know the rest of the world.
The hero It's lucky you came by when you did. Not only did my seeds get delivered, but you went and...
I just did what...
And it's only right that you take it before I...
Thank you, Mum.
So, Eastpool's and a home to free bearers. Who'd have thought we'd...
Well, it was your...
I know that, but I never stopped to think what it would mean. Bearers in charge of them, though I suppose the rest ain't much different. You know, bearers living free like that. Knows as I am to recall...
I take it you didn't know.
Well, if you really want to know, I started... In fact, that's how I met him. Or at least how he came to... He showed up at the stables one day, asking questions about who'd been buying up bear. Founder knows what he thought I was doing with them. Running a hunt, poking around in their innards. Something off me. I thought he was a new constable. Thought the game was up. But somehow we both managed to work, and before I knew it, the cheeky arse was rattling on at me about how I was doing it all wrong. After all my hard work. Told me I was giving them relief, but not freedom. That my bearers were still dying as slaves. Got right under my skin, it did. Told him if he didn't like it, he could bugger off and... And do you know what he did? And then I did the same. We made a pact that day.
And you were?
Well, we both wanted the same thing, just like your dad. Do you know I was born right around the time Elwyn became Archduke? growing up. He certainly didn't lack for ambition, that.
Indeed, but the loftier one's ambitions, the harder they are to achieve. Which is why those of us who follow in their footsteps need to finish what people like Sid and my father started.
Suppose you're right. And if we don't manage it, there's always them who come after us. Good thing we've got a few half-decent sorts where it's almost in a... Anyway, better get back to work. At least the folks who...
That sounds like... Let's go. Faster! Thanks, Gal.
The people of Armor might not have been the friendliest sorts, but they didn't deserve this. Not that the Aether cares. It springs up wherever it likes. Nowadays, that seems to be all over. Mind how you go, Sid. There's a Kashik about.
Damn it. The whole village has turned. Come on. Yeah! This won't be easy. You deserve a rest. Thanks, boy. Two down, one to go.
The Dominion's all but done for.
Was that shouting I heard from the back?
Fresh calling carrots.
Ether floods, icons, whites and walks. And then there's the sky.
You're that sellsword the dame's so fond of. No, sir.
And you're just gonna fall into line?
I don't trust this Duke.
Oh, my wards and I may soon be...
What's happened?
The High Cardinal has descended from his lofty throne.
The High Cardinal?
Leader of the Council of Elders. Second only to his Radiance at the head, not that any of those things still exist. Now he goes by his name.
And what does he want with Northreach?
He wants to transform it into a foundation upon which to build anew. He's already secured the support of the various army remnants, with promises that they shall be afforded the respect they deserve in his empire.
He would rob the populace to pay for it.
Believe me, I have used every means of persuasion to discourage him from this folly. But for whatever reason...
What does Captain Philippe make of this? When the town was under attack, it was him the soldiers rallied around.
How? By speaking out against one of them. A man whose stated aim is to revive the empire Philippe's comrades swore to serve, and to improve the soldiers. The captain can offer them a regular supply of gruel, and an occasional trip to the Vale to help them forget the terrors they face each day. The Duke offers them a vision of strength. No. Any attempt to incite mutiny would cost Philippe the support of his men. If it did not cost him his... But given the mood around town...
Who could blame them?
Clive, would you appeal for your services to Northreach? You have the respect of the soldiers. And unlike Philippe, no bonds of loyalty prevent you from speaking your mind. Well?
I'll see what
Thank
tell in the...
Overseeing the...
All right. I may have met this Duke before, at the Remembrance ceremony. Let's hope I didn't make a strong impression.
It's not only control of the garrison he wants. We already have a leader in the Dane.
Halt! Oh, sorry about that. You got some business with the captain?
No, actually. I was hoping I might be able to...
We're under orders not to let any... But you should be all right. His Eminent... Wait here.
So,
You are the sellsword who lent his aid to the garrison, and I should... tell me.
Neither, Your Eminence. I thought only to inquire about your plan.
Ah, you are worried the expanded garrison will render your services redundant. Yet you needn't be. A proud fighting man, pride of place, in fact. For too long has the contribution of the noble soldier been under-reckoned. But no more. For it is they who shall see the Holy Empire rebuilt, beginning right here in Northreach.
Why here, Your Eminence?
The town has been fortunate enough to escape largely unscathed from the recent troubles. Her defense, which is more than can be said for Oriflamme or Twinside. The Empire wants for a capital, and I believe Northreach to be the perfect place. With Caer Norvent as her citadel. Once we have seen to the refortification of both, we need only build a wall around both to create a city that would be the envy of the twins. Plans are already under... Soon enough, these thralls shall learn that they are no match for the might...
I fear you underestimate how dangerous these creatures... Should they return in force, you will need all the people of Northreach to come together in defense of the town. Something they may be loath to do if they've been...
The people will... If Sandbreck is to be rebuilt, one whose authority... That is why, so that any man who wishes to join the army might do so and be... And yet there are those who persist in peddling the treasonous lie that I seek...
I suspect they're afraid.
Precisely. The common folk have little and less, and you mean to deprive them of even that. You would sow the seeds of your new empire in your own salted earth. And I told you then how putting the empire before her citizens would lead only to revolt.
Without an empire, there are...
And in yours, there will be only beggars. Is that what Griga wills...
Do not take her name in vain.
I'll come back later. A citizen, I wonder what the people really think of it. Wouldn't hurt to... Let's begin with those on the other side of the wall.
Do you see anything you like? You've a keen eye. An excellent choice. Come back again.
I've been hearing a lot.
Nothing. Going around acting like he owns them. And with hardly a word to the dame. This is her town, not his.
I take it you'd rather she was it.
As far as just need his eminence to sod off back to Orif.
Before you ask, it's all salted. You want fresher? Go find yourself a rod and some whelks.
The garrison salvaged what they could.
A question. What?
You build a life for yourself somewhere, only for some noble to turn up and tell you you've got to hand it all over to him. If he thinks his name and his chains give him the right to empty out, we'll do whatever it...
All right there. What is it you're after, sir?
Just your opinion, actually. I wondered what you thought of the Duke of Oriflamme.
Oh, not much. None of us traders do. It's thanks to nobles like him that we had to set up shop this side of the wall in the first place. Couldn't have the rabble all getting any closer to the holy capital, could they? And now he's trying to drive us out completely, threatening to take everything we got from us if we don't clear off. If the dame said she wanted him run out of town, I'd be straight through that checkpoint, tar bucket in hand.
Well, the people seem united enough. What about the soldiers?
That so-called Duke is
Ether
asking
flags,
too much.
icons, whites and wolves. And then there's the skies. Seems to me.
Was that shouting I heard from the barracks?
Do you think he was the only one who survived?
And you're just gonna fall into line?
Excuse me, I wondered if you'd mind sharing your thoughts on the Duke.
Well, I mean, look around us. The traders might not like having the screws put on them. But if they volunteered a few more of their hard-earned gil before things got bad, I think the Duke's got a point when he says rebuilding the Empire's the best way of making sure. And if that means people who don't know one end of a sword from another have to make way for those who do, well, that's...
One at a time now.
You're the one who's talking.
On the Dame's behalf, yes. What do you think of his...
I'm a soldier, mate. Listen, I've got nothing but respect for the Dame. That's where my loyalties lie, not with the town or the Empire. If the Duke can get us the men and the equipment we need to fight off those blue-skinned...
Sabine, you are embarrassing me.
I hear the Duke of Oriflamme plans to turn this town into... Do you think that's a good...
It's not... All I know is that unless the Emperor orders me otherwise, look, no one likes all these taxes and tariffs, but empires don't come from... Once Sandbreck is back on her feet, we'll all reap...
Let's see what Philippe makes of all this.
Welcome back. Wraiths give you any trouble?
Captain, do you have a moment?
For you? Certainly. Clive, wasn't it? Thank you for last time. How can I help you?
I wanted to ask you about the Duke of Oriflamme. Do you intend to go along with his plan?
But to tell you the truth, I'm in two minds. It's my sworn duty as a captain of the Imperial Army to obey his orders. But I can't say I agree with him.
Philippe, I remember you saying that you became a soldier to protect the people you loved. The Dame included.
That's right, I did.
Well, she doesn't agree with the Duke's orders either. She thinks they could tear Northreach apart.
And she's probably right. Thank you, Clive. I know what I need to do now. Protecting the people I love is what matters. Doesn't matter how. Well, duty calls, so I better go. Thanks again.
It seems Philippe wants to do the right thing at least. I expect Isabel will be pleased to hear that, if nothing else.
Clive, were you able to...
I was.
Well, it will certainly help to hold back, though I doubt it will come as much consolation to the townspeople whose worldly goods are confiscated to pay for it. They deserve to be heard, Clive. To have a say in this new empire the Duke...
Sadly, His Eminence values their obedience more than their opinions. and hopes to reassert the authority of... I fear he sees the people as mere pawns on his chessboard to be sacrificed. Needless to say, they themselves are of a different opinion, and would rather their destinies were in your hands. The soldiers, meanwhile, are content to follow their orders. And not just because of the Duke's rank, but because of his vision.
I thought had I sworn to protect Sambrek, I dare say I too would want nothing more than to see it rise from the ashes. Thank you for trying.
I don't know about that.
What happened to your uniform?
I handed it in, along with my resignation. Told the lads I wished them well, but that I owe it to those I love to call it a day.
But why?
Because I realized what really mattered, not following some nobleman's orders for the sake of protecting. I honestly don't know when those, but I'm certain they're not finished with it. And when they do come back, we need to stand with you to lead us, milady. It was you who... There's no point following orders if they go against everything you believe.
Indeed.
All of us, standing together. That has always been Northreach's best hope, and one which still lies within our grasp. We have only to turn our attentions to the true enemy.
Anything for you. Speaking of standing together, would you mind if I borrowed a few of the lads from the Vale to help keep watch around the town? I fear His Eminence has loftier tasks.
Not at all.
Wouldn't be the...
There may be hope for North, especially with men like you. I, for my part, shall continue to work upon the Duke, in the stubborn belief that but I suspect I shall have to call upon your aid again. Until then, Clive.
Until then?
He'd have our coin, our stock enough.
Don't get surrounded. That's all of them. Owain can uncross his toes now.
Covered in nicks and lumps. So, she don't need sails or oars.
With Canva in the hands of Akashic, we'll need...
Ah, Sid! Wasn't expecting you back so soon. So, is it good news or bad?
Good, thankfully. Here.
Ah, that's brilliant! Thanks a blimmin' million! I'll fit 'em to the smelter right away! May I present to you the Telemon Furnace? Ain't bad, is she?
She's a beauty.
You saved my bacon again, Sid, and I ain't about to let your good deed go unrewarded.
It's fine, really.
Oh, don't say that. I'm sure
You could just...
How about that clasp? Looks a bit stiff. Reckon you could lose, and I reckon I know how. It's a metals.
Stretchy metal.
Ah. So, what do you reckon?
Thank you.
Shh. And I wanted to get some Can't think of any right now. Maybe one day the whole world's gonna know about the inventions you've helped us put together.
They'll hardly believe their eyes, I'm sure.
Right then. Let's get back to work.
Then again,
Why settle How may I help you today, Clive? All yours. All done?
through...
I still say it were a compliment.
Ah, Clive. Please tell me you've come to take our young...
I'm not here for mid.
Then why not ask Molly if you can look in one of her ovens?
As soon as the Enterprise is ready, we'll be setting out for Drake's Spine. And we're going to need a safe place to...
Preferably one that won't see my ship blown to shit and splinters.
If it were that easy, do you think Waloed would have resisted invasion for so long? Very little is known of Ash, and the information we do have is spotty and outdated. We have the good King Barnabas to thank for that. Waloed's borders have been closed to outsiders since the day he seized the throne. If there is anywhere safe to land, you won't find it on my map.
Then tell us what we will find. I'm sure you know better than we do.
But no splinters.
All right, all right. If it will get you out of my hair. But interrupt. Barnabas Tham, the one they call the Last King. Understand him, and you will understand the kingdom of Waloed. Barnabas was only a boy when he arrived from beyond the southern seas, and barely a man before he united the ragged tribes of Ash. And having unleashed them upon the formidable Veldemark, he set his throne upon the ancient kingdom's ruins. The victory sent shockwaves around Valisthea, tales of Odin's might spreading through every court, parlor, and drinking hole in the realm. Note that this was in the year 843, and that the king still sits upon his throne some 40 years later, quite untouched by time. Waloed's recent inaction left many wondering if Odin had lost his appetite for war. And yet here we are. The Einherjar was committed to the fray, a bold declaration of intent. Orcs swarm around Drake's Fang, and throngs of Akashic haunt Canva's streets. Though how precisely the havoc they wreak serves Waloed remains unclear. Regardless, if the order to attack truly came from King Barnabas, then one thing is certain. Waloed has achieved the impossible, and made bedfellows of beastmen and the ether-addled alike. All of which is a roundabout way of saying that you will be in unknown territory when you set foot on Ash. Much of the continent has already... been lost to the Blight, and what few ports remain will be fiercely guarded. And that is to say naught of its natural defenses. Offshore currents will cast an ill-equipped ship out to sea one moment, and dash it against the rocks the next. But then the Enterprise is anything but ill-equipped. And Mid has made land there before. Now, if only there were someone with an intimate knowledge of the Shadow Coast, and where a daring gentleman might put ashore. You see, Clive?
Do you think you can get us back to that beach, mate?
Picked you up from it, didn't I? Not that it were easy. The currents were... But then, if it wasn't hard, it wouldn't...
Well said. Thank you,
If a few morsels of common knowledge and a sprinkling of tavern talk are worthy of your thanks.
Probably more Mid. I need everyone in the ale hall. I'll fetch Joshua from the ship.
Aye, aye, Captain.
How do you split the sea?
Oh, don't tell me we've run out of Pepio nuts and...
Clive. If you're gonna buy some, be quick about it. You'll not find a better price than that. It'd better all be here. Finished, are you? And the stew's been...
Trouble with your gear, or... What do you want? Anything else? What do I owe the honor? Not saying fortune, do you? That it? Fine. Trouble with your gear, or what do you want? And?
I will not forget this kindness, my lord. We shall go to Eastport. But as soon as the...
I have no reason to assume otherwise.
Well, then that changes everything. Clive, you must listen to this. Lawsman, tell him.
Do you recall when we spoke before on the divinity and what I discovered appeared?
You will recall that my quest to uncover Ultima's origin, but while I've always known it to be important, it's now, however, I believe I know where to find the more...
Master Clive, I would think not, but there was once a time when the faith flourished, the oldest known religion in the Twins, and though its popularity eventually waned, hints of its dogma remain embedded in more modern faiths such as the Crystalline Orthodox.
Wait, you said it waned on Storm. What of Ash?
Religious monuments are often torn down or repurposed when new faiths rise to prominence. But if no new faith arose, then perhaps the ancient temples might still stand. And so, you see now why I must accompany you to Waloed.
It would appear the past still has much to teach us, though in this case, it would not have been possible without the musings of Moss. To think that you carried a copy of my old mentor's chronicles all along. I am relieved to discover it in good hands.
I shall guard it with my life.
Joshua, if you're finished here, join me in the ale. I need to speak to everyone.
Right away.
If it please your grace, might I one day borrow the chronicles? For a short while.
Of course, Lawsman Hippocrates. You need but ask.
Sid, did you know that chocobos are far more resilient?
My apologies.
By now you've all heard where we're going and why. If we attempt to approach Stone here by sea, so instead we'll disembark on the southwest coast and make for Drake's Spine on foot. I say we, but it's highly likely the entirety of Ash is under the rule of Ultima, as well as slow our march and require supplies. Only Joshua and I, and a scout. Preferably a good...
You bet your ass. I might still borrow some of Lady Vivian.
Once you've dropped us off at the Shadow Coast, you need to retreat into neutral waters, fly merchant colors, and stay inconspicuous. If you sense any danger at all, you leave us behind and return.
Inconspicuous is my middle name. The ship ain't going nowhere till you're
Jill, the Enterprise will appear a tempting target for royalists and pirates alike. You're to stop anyone boarding.
Don't worry. I'll keep the ship and her crew safe. You'll be needing passage home, after all.
But... very well.
If there are no questions, I'll see you all at the docks.
Let me know when you're leaving. I want a word before you go.
Of course.
Thought I might grab myself a mug of Maeve's mead. Settle.
You look like you could do with a drink. You... Oh, you're not leaving already, are you?